be happy. You watch him when he comes in.
Good chance it'll be open parking if you under. Yep. But
hello and welcome. My name is Metamonen and welcome to Metamonen Racing Community. This is the time trial event for the RS01 Trophy Sunday Series coming up in a couple weeks' time to begin on the 30th of August. So here's what we've got in store for tonight. So it is the time trial event for Lobby 1. And here's where we are doing our time trials tonight at Alton Park International, length 4.307 kilometres with 17 corners. It's quite a task for these drivers to get quite a good, essentially a quality time in to see what division they end up in at the end of this session. And here's our details. 45 minutes with clear weather conditions in game time, 3 o'clock. And here is our entry list for the series so far. So we got Rojo, Exo, Ghost, Someone Awesome, Mersey Blue, Aussie, Team Little Bear, Burra Dog. We got Titan, Jassens, Scraffy, Psycho, Dion Goody, Peppy, Weaven, Rory Hughes, Crispy Cookie, Salty Salmon, Mateo Tomaso. We got Vic, John Dog, LSGM, Rooney, Birdie, Wimpinator, Hammer, Morningstar Mike, TT, and Fingers. So I think that adds up to about 30 drivers in the series so far. So we'll have almost 2 full divisions. So we still got 2 spots up for grabs in the near future. So if you want to put your name forward to enter, just DM me on PSN Metamonen and we'll get you sorted into one of those spots here. So we're into the official time trial session here at Alton Park. We've got quite a good turnout from the guys tonight. We do have the last lot of time trials running next week as well. So we still got more time trials to come with pretty much half the entries in either lobbies so far. So it's a pretty good turnout at such late notice. This broadcast pretty much out of nowhere as well. Rojo getting up to speed with his set of tyres. So no one knew the track heading in until now. So they're all going to have to get into the rhythm here, build up that muscle memory, and towards the end of the session, we'll start to see these guys punch in their real fast lap times here at Alton Park. It's quite a difficult track as well with a variation in types of corners, braking zones, the lot. It's got everything to offer for a time trial session, and it's really going to test every bit of skill in these drivers tonight to determine the divisions heading into the series. So Rojo just getting up to grips with the tyre temps and brake temperature. But he'll be the first driver to cross control line to start his first lap for the time trial. We got Wimpinator from Bush League Racing, our reigning champion in that series, joining the series as well. So it's going to be a very heated series, that's for sure. We got a wide range of very quick drivers from Race and Oz, Bush League Racing. Someone Awesome also rejoining once again our reigning champ in the Xfinity Series. We've still got the NASCAR Sunday Series to win tomorrow night. So can he do the double? Wait and see in about 24 hours time. So Rojo on for his first lap now here at Alton Park. So he's going to have no traffic in front of him, but a little bit sideways through turn 2. Would have lost him a little bit of time there. But it's good to get to know the competitive order before the series, so this is a good indication of whether or not who's going to be the top championship contenders in either division this season. So we're going to get a little bit of a form guide here. So Rojo out the first sector, no second split indication. We've got nothing to compare it to at this stage. So we just let him tick through the second sector here. It's quite a clean lap, exclusion of turn 2 so far. Rojo looking to punch his ticket into Division 1. He has quite fine pace in the NASCAR Sunday Series, Xfinity Series. So he'll be one of our drivers to look to punch his ticket into Div 1. Whether or not he'll be competitive at the top with some of our championship contenders, we'll wait and see what sort of pace he has to be able to determine that. He's went out wide in the last sector, and that's going to invalidate his lap time as well. So we'll see who else is on track. Burra Dog just coming out of pit lane now. Mersey Blue out on track in the first sector here. Just quickly scroll through. We got Titan. He's very quick as well. And we do have Ghost, who's parked up in pit lane, obviously mucking around with car set up at this stage. Just get his car up the grips before he goes out there, but he is going to be extremely quick in this session as well. Fingers should be quick as well, coming from Bush League Racing. Him, John Dog and Wimpinator. Glad to have you guys here for the Sunday series this season. It's going to be a ripper of you 3 additions in the series. No doubt you guys will be contenders. No doubt. So that's for Fingers coming out of Sector 2. He's actually held on to it through this double apex. Around 13, 14. Go up to turns 15, 16 and 17 here. It's quite hard to get on the power in the uphill section. It goes downhill then uphill. And you have to try hug the wall through turn 17. Is this going to be a lap time from Fingers? No, it's not. But lap time from Titan with a 1:31 flat. So we'll quickly hop on board with him to see what this time around will be. So he's going to be one of our favourites to punch his ticket into Div 1 tonight in Titan. We've already got a few guys book their spots into Div 1 and Div 2. So the 4 Div 1 guys in Ghost, Wimpinator, TT and Someone Awesome. Those guys, essentially a pre-season session here for them. As for Titan, he's off to get another flying lap here. No one else has recorded a lap time here at Alton Park, but everyone is out on track. We've got 10 cars out on track, so a fairly good outing tonight from the guys to get their time trials out the way. Titanese went out wide there. Went way too deep on the brakes in the second chicane here at Alton Park. So I reckon he would have lost a lot of time there. We'll hop on board with Exo. He's coming out the first sector now at the treacherous slow hairpin to end Sector 1. He's in that lovely purple number 25 Renault RS01. Just got to keep in mind it is a single make series as well, and I've been told these are a ripper of a cars to drive. And it's very competitive when you put everyone against each other in these cars as well. Now this is one of the most difficult braking zones, a downhill braking zone heading into a slow chicane, but Exo's pulled it up quite nicely there. But then he's went out wide. That would have hindered his performance. I reckon he'll get a slowdown for that as well. So we got Fingers with a 1:32 flat. He's the second off Titan's time in P1. So we'll quickly hop on board with him just to get an indication of what this first sector is going to be. And if he's up quite substantially, we'll stay on board. So we'll go roof view here on board with Fingers. So he's completely been heading into the hairpin. Had to get off the throttle a little bit more. Now on board with Burrow Dog, currently sitting P3. Exo goes P3'd out with a 1:32.8. So that's a decent time from him so far in this early stage in the time trial session. Still yet to see a time from our known quick guys in Ghost and Wimpinator. We've got Ghost parked up in pit lane. John Dog moves up into P3 with a 1:32.6. So he's 1.6 seconds off Titan in P1. We do have another time trial lobby going on at the same time. Someone Awesome also hosting and live streaming that session as we speak. So we're trying to maximise the amount of time trials we can get done tonight. And it's fair to say we're going to get over half of them done. So as for Burrow Dog, currently in Sector 2 now. Very hard to get on the throttle through that slow right-hander up the hill to enter the third sector here at Alton Park. And he's up by 1.5 seconds. So down the gears now. I reckon he's going to go out wide. No, he's not. He's pulled it off. So just looking to get a clean lap in here, Burrow Dog. He's currently sitting P6 with his current time of 1:38.1. Someone's moved up there. Mercy Blue up in the P8 with a 1:34.5. So he's looking quite competitive in the early stage here. Now Burrow Dog going across the line. It's only good enough for P7, so didn't improve enough to move into P2 with a 1:30.3. Titan also improves on the last time around with a 1:29.6. So he's the first drivers into the 29s in this time trial session. So wonderful pace from Titan. John Dog moving up in the P2. He's starting to get quicker and quicker after every lap as well. So look for him to punch his ticket into Div 1 with this blistering pace as we speak. We've got Aussie joining the party as well. He'll have an extra 10 minutes added to his time trial as well if he needs it. As for John Dog, half a second off Titan. He's barely out of the 29s as well. A massive lockup heading into the hairpin. And he's lost a lot of time there. 2.5 tenths of a second down. That front right tyre must be hurting right now. Uneven tyre wear going on with that lockup. It went for quite a long distance there, heading into the deep braking zone of the first hairpin on exit of Sector 2. But we'll stay on board with him here. He's still got 2 sectors to contend with here and to be able to gain that time necessary to pip Titan of the top spot at this stage. So the top 3 separated by 6.5 tenths of a second. Now John Dog up in the mid-sector, 3 tenths of a second up on his quickest. So he could challenge Titan for the top lap here at Alton Park. Wimpinator going top now, 2 tenths of a second quicker than Titan. So 1:29.4 plays 1:29.6. So those 2 guys, no doubt, are going to be championship contenders in Div 1 as it stands. John Dog moving up in the P2, barely separated by his compatriot at Bush League Racing in Wimpinator. 1.5 of a second between the 2. And we've got Fingers from Bush League Racing as well. He's currently sitting in P4. 1:32 flat is his quickest. What's this sector split going to be for him? No indication there. We've got Ghost out on track as well. Currently sitting in P5 with 1:32.4. And I think Ghost told me a few weeks ago that he's contended in one of these RS01 series just of recently. Oh, sorry about that, just had to sort something out. We'll go back out on track here with Wimpinator. He's currently the early pace setter in this time trial session, and he's looking to go quicker this time around. So we'll go on board Roof Cam on board with Wimpinator. So he's currently in the first sector, heading into the deep braking zone of the first hairpin here on exit of Sector 2. We're going to get an indication whether or not he's on charge for an improvement here, and he's barely down on his quickest. So it looks as though it could improve through this mid-sector. He's really got to put the car on the line through the 2 chicanes up ahead. A lot of inside curb through the mid-corner of the chicane. Absolute commitment there from Wimpinator. How deep does he go here? Does he overshoot it? Just a little bit, but he's pulled it up quite nicely. But he's going to get on the throttle just a little bit later than he would like to. So currently your top 3, Wimpinator, John Dog, then Titan. Those 3 separated by 2 tenths of a second. Wimpinator, 2.5 tenths of a second quicker through the mid-sector. He's putting it all on the line here through the last sector. He's already booked his ticket into Div 1, but he wants to see where he is competitively against his contenders in Div 1. So currently he is setting the fastest laps of this session. And he goes even quicker. The first driver in the 28s, 6 tenths of a second quicker than his previous quickest. John Dog parked up in pit lane in P2, so obviously making a couple of required changes there just to get settled with the stability of his car. Titan just overshooting it there. Had to catch a little slide on corner entry. We'll go back trackside here. So didn't improve on that time around. Fingers has improved in the recent past. So his quickest now a 1:30.6. So he's just under a second off Titan in P3. Ghost in P5. So those top 5 looking to be Div 1 front runners at this stage. But Ghost, he should be able to find a few more attempts here, but he's lost the rear end in the last sector. I'm not sure if that lap time was going to improve. Hop on board Mercy Blue here. So we got 30 minutes left in this time trial session. A lot of inside curb. He's hit the tyre bundle on the inside. Rojo currently sitting in P8 and he's looking to warm these tyres up quite quick. Burrow Dog, whereas he's currently in the first sector. So we're about to get that sector split. Just out of the hairpin here. We'll stay on board. We'll go cockpit view. See how much work is going on the steering wheel here. So very fluid at this stage for Burrow Dog. Currently only sitting P9 though with a 1:35.4. But he will be booked into Division 2 as well. So currently looking like a very clean lap here on board with Burrow Dog. A little bit of oversteer through the last sector. Would have cost him a couple of attempts, I reckon. Well, he's lost the rear end out of turn 16. That's not a good sign. In regards to the car setup, maybe a little bit unsettled with some of the spring settings there. Team Little Bear having to take a tour into the wall in the mid-sector. We'll hop on board with Aussie Chopper. Currently sitting in P11. Joined the session late. So if he requires that extra 10 minutes, he will be here for an extra 10 minutes. Currently half a second down on his quickest. So we'll hop on board with John Dog up in P2. Got a bit of carnage in the background there. I'm not sure who that is. So I'm just going to see if I can get a quick update from someone awesome. So we got Birdie live streaming from Lobby 2. So hopefully we can get an indication what's going on there. Tell you the competitive order. So it's someone awesome with a 1:30.9. So he's currently the pace setter in Lobby 2. And we have Birdie in P2, who's 7 tenths off the 1:30.9. From someone awesome, we got Weaven 1.3 seconds down, and then 3.9 seconds down is Pepe, Crispy Cookie, and Matteo Tommaso still yet to get a lap time in. So we've got 6 drivers in Lobby 2, and then we've got 11 in Lobby 1 here. So we're currently on board with John Dog. Has he improved though? Titan's actually moved up in the P2 now with 1:29.2, and then Wimpinator in the recent past has improved as well. So his quickest now is a 1:28.2. So that's why I pretty much booked his spot into Div 1 before the time trials commence. He'll be one of our championship favourites in the series this season, no doubt, with the pace he's got already. Massive locked up cost him through the hairpin there. Quickly hop on board with Titan, so he's starting off a new hot lap here. Just gotta set my Twitch channel up here. Not sure what's going on. So there we go, that should be better. Should be where it needs to be. And as for Titan, is this going to be an improvement on his quickest here? No, it's not. 3 tenths slower. John Dog parked up in pit lane. We've got Fingers out on track. And he's currently set a 130.6 to currently sit P4. So the top 4 are actually faster than the quickest in Southern Awesome in a Lobby 2 at this stage. So it shows you how competitive this lobby is here as we speak. Just quickly going to get an update. Yeah, so Southern Awesome still with a 130.9 in Lobby 2. We got Birdie not too far off him now. Still 7.5 tenths off Southern Awesome. So that's for Fingers across the control line now. Doesn't improve there. We'll go on board with Ghost, currently sitting in P5. So he's booked his spot in Div 1. So Ghost not going faster that time around. And he's decided to park it up for another lot of changes to his car setup. Mersey Blue currently in P7. We'll hop on board with Exo. He hasn't had too much screen time so far. So we'll see what he's up to with this lap. We'll go roof cam on board with Exo. Let's see how his car looks under brakes here. Barely uses any brake pressure, so he's on an outlap there. We'll hop on board with him next time around. So we'll quickly see what Mersey Blue's up to. So he's currently sitting P8 with a 133.6. So he's 1.7 seconds up on his quickest. That should put him in the top 5 provisionally. So he's going to surpass Ghost here by the looks of it based on that number. It's going to be a very good time for Mersey Blue if he can hold it off. Heading into the last couple of corners here at Alton Park. We got less than half the session remaining here at Alton Park. So pretty much in the closing stages of this time trial. And P5, Mersey Blue, a 132.1. Awesome time there. It's looking very competitive for a Div 1 spot. Now, this is the time we hop on board with Exo. Currently sitting in 8th spot. He goes out wide at turn 1. Not what you'd like to see on camera there. And that's Burradog going out wide in the last sector once again. Team Little Bear in the first sector. Taking a lot of the inside curb there. I'm not sure if he's on a hot lap, but Wimpinator at this stage in a league of his own at the top. 1 second clear ahead of the rest of the field. Time of Someone Awesome is still standing at a 130.9. So currently in this session it would be P5. So Xfinity Sunday Series champion. Not the quickest in the 2 time trial lobby so far. We're on board with Team Little Bear. We've got a car off into the infield there. Let's see how Aussie's tracking here. So we've got Psycho joining as well. I'll give him an extra 25 if he needs it. So Aussie up by 6.5 tenths of a second. He's going out wide and he's lost the rear. That corner there caught out a lot of the drivers so far. They'll be fortunate enough to know that this will not feature in the 5-round calendar of the RS01 Sunday series. So John Dog currently sitting in P3, 129.5, 1.2 seconds off Wimpinator at the top. We'll see what he's up to this time around. He's going for another attack at it. So Titan in P2, parked up in pit lane. Now curious to see where the pace from Ghost is going to come out from, because he's really going to have to punch in a very competitive lap time soon. I know he's booked his spot into Div 1, but we need to see what sort of pace he's got, what sort of true pace he's got. He's not looking comfortable in that car as we speak. Looking to be struggling just a little bit. He's 4.2 seconds off the fastest time in at Wimpinator and P1, so he's got a big 18.5 minutes to come in this session for him. I think he just came out of the pit lane as well. Rojo parked up in pit lane. So hop back on board with John Dog. So he's coming out the last couple of corners now. Turn 17 here across the control line. What's this going to be for him? So 9 tenths of a second slower. We'll go on board with fingers here. So he's coming out the first sector in a few moments' time. Locks the inside front wheel there just a little bit on corner entry. A lot of curb taken. That set him out wide. That's lap done and dusted for fingers there. Mersey Blue across the line now. No improvement there, but we'll see what he's up to on this time around. Actually, we'll go on board roof cam. Zero visibility in the cockpit at this stage. So this is where we're going to get our first sector split for Mersey Blue. Unfortunately, it didn't come up on screen, so I'm not sure if this is invalidated. The race feed doesn't say anything about Mersey Blue's lap time being invalidated here. They're looking to be very aggressive through the chicane back, a couple hundred metres back. So Wimpinator still not able to improve on his quickest, but a lot of inside curve for Mersey Blue had to make him slow down quite substantially through the mid-corner back at the chicane. So no sector split there either. I'm just curious to know what sort of lap time this is going to be. It's currently 3.9 seconds off the fastest in Wimpinator. Got to keep in mind, Alton Park is a very difficult track. We've got to up the difficulty as much as possible when it comes to time trial. We're going to try to find a track that has pretty much everything to offer. And I felt Alton Park will serve that purpose. So what does Rojo have in the tank here? He's got 16 minutes to go to determine what his final time trial lap will be. So it's more of quali runs throughout this session. For the guys that are here for pre-season testing, locked into their respective divisions, they'll be able to get a clear indication of, you know, how the car handles in race trim. And as for someone like Wimpinator, we got Ghost in P7. Those two guys in Div 1. We've got Burradog locked into Div 2. Those guys, realistically, once they're happy with their quickest lap, they could realistically put, you know, a full tank of fuel in and just see how long they last for. And get to really know how the car handles in race trim. All the Division 1 distances this season, all above 150 kilometres. And then you got the endurance at the end of the season to be a 200 kilometre distance. As for Division 2, theirs is reduced by 50 kilometres. So mainly 100 kilometre events there for those guys, and 150 kilometre endurance race at the end of the season. So just got a little bit of different variation in the round structures for those guys, but they're all running the same track, so they all get to practice with each other, and I guess not get hindered by practicing with anyone from Div 1 because they're still racing at the same track on the same race weekend. So it's very beneficial to get into a lobby with a Div 1 driver if you're a Div 2 driver, and maybe get a few pointers from their point of view. And definitely help the guys in Div 2 out quite a lot. As for Wimpinator, he's currently leading this time trial session with a 1:28.2, a 1:29.2 from Titan. Sees him in P2. Then John Dog rounds out your top three with 1:29.5. We've got Fingers in P4, Mercy Blue P5. Psycho, he joined recently and he's already put himself up into P6 with a 1:32.3. So we'll hop on board with him. This looks to be his second go around here at Alton Park, but he's completely binned it at the second chicane like many have done so tonight so far. Went way too deep under brakes, and as a result, he's just going to have to get back into the groove and basically just send it for another time around. Ghost, he's a few hundred metres behind Psycho here. Rojo moves up in the P6 with 1:32.2. So it's a decent time from him, and it's looking to be very competitive for a Div 1 spot. As for Ghost, coming out of turn 16 now. What's this going to be for him? It's not going to go faster there. So Burradog disconnected, but he's locked in the Div 2, so we don't have to get his time comparison to everyone else. So Exo by looks just trying to get the grips with what this car's capable of. Just going to quickly get an update on Lobby 2. So 1:30.6, so Someone Awesome has improved his quickest. And then we got Birdie in P2, 0.2 of a second behind Someone Awesome. Then we got Weaven in P3, 1.4 seconds off the pace. So there's 6 guys in that session, and those 6 guys separated by 4.5 tenths of a second. It's pretty much the same in this session here, but they're going substantially quicker in comparison to the second lobby. Wimpinator, a bit over 2 seconds quicker than Someone Awesome, champion in the Xfinity Sunday Series. Currently on board with Titan. He's about to finish a lap here. So we got 11 minutes 40 left in the time trial session here for these 11 drivers. Psycho and Aussie can get extra time because they did join late. So there we go, Titan's parked up in pit lane to make some necessary changes to his car setup. And we'll see what Wimpinator's got in store now. He's got his lights on, and that means one thing. He's trying to get into the 27s here at Alton Park. barely down on his quickest through the first sector. He's still got 2 sectors to improve there. He needs at least 2.5 tenths of a second if he's to get into the 27s. A little bit of extra oversteer through the first chicane. Would have lost him a little bit of time through the mid-corner, and he's identified that. And he's backed out the throttle here on this lap. Titan coming out of the pit lane. Fingers going faster, 129.4. So the top 4 drivers all in the 128s and 129s. But from second to third, those guys separated by 3 tenths of a second. So we got Wimpinator, Titan, Fingers, and then John Dog in P4. Then Mersey Blue rounding out your top 5. But it's quite a gap back from John Dog to Mersey Blue. That's 1.8 seconds between those two. And we've got Rojo P6, Psycho on P7, Ghost in P8, Exo on P9, Team Little Bear in P10 here. And we got Aussie and Burrow Dog. He did record a time, and he was inside the top 10 when he was in. So Aussie Chopper, he's down out of the first sector. Team Little Bear, where is he on track? And he's went wide like many of the drivers so far. He's going to have to back out that lap. He's going to take a tour into the wall there. Exo and P9, 4.5 seconds off Wimpinator. He's currently in the first sector as well. Almost took a tour out in the grass. A lot of understeer through the hairpin there for Exo. See what Ghost has got in store, because he looks to be very speedy through the first. They're getting the power on here out of the hairpin on exit of sector 1. A little bit of a narrow approach there through the first chicane. Just trying to keep up as much top end speed, mid corner speed through that chicane as possible. Downhill braking zone here, and he hits the apexes quite nicely. Gets on the throttle when he wants to, but he's lost the rear end. That would have been a good lap if he held on to it. Unfortunate scenes there for Ghost. If he didn't lose the rear end, that would have well and truly challenged the top 5 drivers. We've got Psycho coming out of turn 16. He'll be one of our contenders in the NASCAR Sunday Series tomorrow night. He's battling for a championship in the NASCAR Sunday Series. And he's one of our informed drivers in that series as well, and that's why he made the championship for, with massive playoff performances. So Psycho, he really needs a good lap time here if he wants to put his ticket into Div 1. We know he's got outright speed. He's just got to execute it here. So we're still going to see time trials done by 12 drivers. We have 18 drivers tonight to participate in their time trial. Titan, he's still not able to go quicker on that 129.2. He must be really frustrated with the gap in front of him of Wimpinator. Fingers would be really happy with his time though. To pip John Dog by the narrowest of margins, 6/100ths of a second between those two. And they're looking very competitive to slot their ticket into Div 1. it's going to be a quicker lap for Fingers. We'll wait and see in a few moments. We've got 5 minutes 30 left in this time trial session. So this is the crunch time for the guys that want to book their spot into Div 1. So the guys that you'd think would be at the top, Psycho and Rojo, they need to go at least a second quicker to really put themselves in a chance to get into Div 1. Exo, one of those drivers looking to do the same, currently in the wars so far, 4.5 seconds down on Wimpinator. He's went out wide on entry to Sector 2, that would have hindered his lap time. Team Little Bear, we'll be looking to go faster in the final 5 minutes here. Hop on board Roof Cam with Team Little Bear as he enters turn 16 and 17 to end his lap here at Alton Park. That doesn't go faster. Now we'll see. We'll go on board with Mersey Blue, so he's really starting to get into the 130 land in a few moments, so this might be the lap he can do so. He's went a little bit wide at turn 3, but you can see there's many different approaches that the drivers take through turn 3. If you want to get like a slingshot effect, you would more so take the mid lane through turn 3. Now, in my opinion, this is the most difficult corner on the circuit, and that's for Mersey Blue. He's 1.1 seconds off his quickest time here. Not looking likely to improve on this lap. Quickly up on board with Rojo. He's got a driver ahead of him. He's almost finished this lap here, heading into turn 16. Hopefully he avoids that rotated car, and he does. So he's had very good situational awareness to assess that. 7.5 temps off his quickest. John Dog coming out of the last sector. So he would like to put himself into the top 3 here. He barely has to go quicker to be able to do so. So 1.4 seconds off his quickest. As for Rojo, we'll get that sector split in a couple of seconds time. He's 6 temps off in the first sector. Now on board with Psycho out of turn 16 now. He's trying to get on the power very early on exit of turn 16. He goes quicker by 1 second, so he moves up into the top 5 now with 1:31.2. So that's what we expected from Psycho. As for Rojo, you'll be expecting the same situation for him as well. But currently 4 temps off there. That's an improvement from the first sector of 0.2 of a second there. So coming out of turn 16 now, is there enough through this last sector to improve? He needs 1 second to get over Mersey Blue. And he does not. So Mersey Blue looking quite safe in P6 at this stage. He's got a gap of 1 second over Rojo. As for Wimpinator, I'm curious to know, can he improve on that time? Can he be the first driver to get into the 27s? But Ghost moves up to the P2 out of nowhere. A 1:29 flat from him. 8.5 temps off Wimpinator, who wants to go quicker here at Alton Park. We'll get Roof Cam up on board with Wimpinator. A lot of extra oversteer out of turn 1. Here we go, heading into turn 2, turn 3. How does he attack this section? So he's trying to search for grip and trying to get onto the power early with the line he took out of turn 3. Goes back a gear through the mid corner of turn 4. Now very deep under brakes to turn 5. Exited the first sector, but we got no sector split there from Wimpinator. He hasn't invalidated his lap time, so we're just going to have to go in blind here. But he is putting this car on the line here at Alt Park. He really attacked the first chicane. Does he do so the second? Gets onto the power when he wants. He's trying to get the lateral weight transfer to go to the right-hand side. So we've got a car off out in the grass there, returning the pit lane. I reckon that was John Dog there. So we had a little bit of a moment there. But Wimpinator, he's got a full tank of fuel on board, and that's time trial session finished for a majority of these drivers here. Not able to go quicker there in Wimpinator. So we'll go on board with Fingers. He's coming out of turn 16 in a couple of moments here, so we're about to get the indication and whether or not he's going to improve here. He's almost rotated it out of turn 16. I don't think it's going to improve after that moment. It does not. Psycho in pit lane. Mersey Blue across the line in P7. Rojo, this is his last attempt, currently in P8. What has he got in store on this last lap here? Has he binned at it at the second chicane? I reckon he has. He's had to really slow the car up through that section. He's got 0.6 litres on board. I don't even think he's going to cross the line. Exo coming across the control line. What's this going to be for him? Not going to improve. Team Little Bear currently sitting P10. Doesn't improve either. Aussie Chopper, he'll have an extra 10 minutes if he needs it. He'll finish this session in P8. So massive jump from Aussie Chopper there. Now Rojo, he's parked it up, and that is the completion of the session there. I'll get a couple of screenshots, even though we got a couple of the guys that might look to get their full 45 minutes. So as for the time trial event, that is done and dusted. Now we could stay on board for this race here. It's a one lap race, so let's see what everyone's going to do. Just for a bit of a thrill to end this time trial event stream. But as for Wimpinator, something we expected for him to really be on red hot pace in this time trial session. And that's why he was locked in the Div 1 prior to the time trials. So there's no competitive license enabled, so I reckon you'll see a few of the guys just trying to make desperate moves out of nowhere. So here we go. And it's a mixed up grid as well because we did not do qualifying. Here we go green. John Dog with a wonderful start there. Goes parked up. No, it's Titan. So John Dog goes up in the P1, a massive launch from the first row. He's under a lot of pressure from Ghost behind. Rojo up in the P3. We got Fingers taking a tour out into the sand there. Team Little Bear goes up in the P4. We got Carnage in the background. Cars off everywhere. I think Exo's involved in the background there. Aussie, Burrow Dog, Fingers gets back on track. And he's chasing down Wimpinator. We'll go back to the front. John Dog up in P1 here. He's going to come home with quite a comfortable victory in this one lap race. Rojo trying to defend Ghost. Ghost just trying to fake him out there. Does he get him under brakes? A massive lockup from Ghost. And he's made contact with Rojo through the second chicane. Now Team Little Bear's involved here. And then we got Mersey Blue right in the back of these guys as well. So that was a massive lockup from Ghost on Rojo. That almost cost the both of them. They almost hit the tyre bundle as well. And that would have been race-ending stuff. And that's Team Little Bear rotating the car. Just doing a bit of acrobatics there in his Renault. Ghost able to get past quite easily out of turn 16. John Dog coming home with that 1 lap race win. Starting off the front, Road Ghost in P2, Rojo in P3, Mersey Blue in P4, Fingers in P5, Wimpinator completely binning it across the control line in P6. He's gone without a rear wing here. And we've got Team Little Bear and Aussie to cross control line. So that has been the time trial event broadcast there. I hope you enjoyed, and it gives you a little bit of a clear indication of what to expect in terms of the competitive order in both Division 1 and Division 2. So I've been Metamonen, and I'll see you tomorrow night for the finale of the NASCAR Sunday Series, and then the Ignition Control